Today on Drawbli,
Ben becomes a level 2 artist.
finally.
Oh my
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out our drawing guidebook linked below. Abby, I'm a level 2 artist now.
What does
Don't
that
even talk to me.
What does that
Don't
even
even talk.
I'm probably level 10. I'm probably level 10.
Okay, you can talk to me.
Okay. No, I'm not really. But what does that all mean?
So I recently heard described from an artist by the name of Tim McBurney about the 5 levels of creating character art, which I thought was really interesting and a great way to break it down. Level 1 being creating portraits. Level 2, portraits with simple backgrounds or abstract backgrounds, kind of like this. Level 3 was a portrait with a full background, you know, a little more detailed. Level 4 was a full character with a really simple or abstract background. And level 5 was a character like in a full scene, in a like completely detailed environment.
There's no level that's a full character with no background?
That would be, you know, probably like a level 3 or 4, you know, like around there. But either way, I've been doing a lot of portraits, and I haven't been doing much in terms of backgrounds, but I've been thinking about that a lot more lately and how I want to start making what I work on a little more visually interesting. So I've been trying to incorporate that a little more. And that's what I did here for this character, and another one that I will show you towards the end of this video that I really enjoyed working on.
So you then would be a level 2 artist.
Yeah, I'm kind of a no big deal, but I'm a level 2 artist now.
So you keep this background here fairly abstract?
Fairly
then?
abstract, fairly simple.
Okay.
And that is because I started working on the vending machine that she's standing in front of and realized that, oh, no. Ben is not a level 3 artist. Ben is a level 2 artist. He should not be detailing these items in the environment.
No. That's funny.
Which you mentioned something earlier, and I wanted to talk about it here during this video, about how if you attempt something far above the level that you are used to creating at, you should not expect to have great success doing something like that. You recently mentioned you attempted a level 5 painting where you were creating a character with a really detailed environment that they were set in. And that is not something that we do very often, you know?
No.
To jump from level 2 to 5 is a huge endeavor, and you shouldn't expect to come out of that with this like immaculate piece.
It does make me feel better about being pretty dissatisfied with how it turned out. Or not dissatisfied, but like, I don't know. I was like, well, this isn't amazing, but there was a lot going on.
There was, yeah, and I think having this mentality going into a piece where you're like, I'm going to try doing this, I think that helps really set expectations a lot better for you, for anybody who kind of goes in with that mentality. Because, you
Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you're trying something that's like a little above where you are normally proficient at, yeah, it's probably not going to go off perfectly the first time.
That's what I'm saying. And, sometimes if you're me, even when you try things much below your level, it doesn't always go the way you expect it to go. But I did enjoy working on these couple characters in these simple environments. I also have like a few different techniques and a few different styles that I lean toward and play around with. This is what I refer to as my color sketch style, where it's a little more cartoony, more stylized, more simplified. But I really enjoy this style, and it's something I want to keep experimenting with and playing around with. It's where I don't like do a ton of details to the eyes. I keep it all relatively simple.
Yeah, and it looks like you're a lot more able to work with color and hue shifts and value shifts this way and experiment with that without getting bogged down in little details, which is a really valuable thing to be able to practice regularly without spending an equal amount of time trying to, perfect the reflection on the lower eyeball.
The waterline, Abby?
Yeah, the waterline.
Or the tear line, I believe it's called. Come on, you're an artist. A level 2 artist at least.
Yes, but I'm an artist with a headache, so you have to give me a little grace.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Unlike me, a level 2 artist that never gets headaches.
Do you not?
No. just the other night I was like, oh, my head is going to explode. Every once in a while I'll get a migraine in there, you know.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I get a lot more sleep than you, so I think
You think that has something to do with it?
probably stems the issue.
I don't know. But either way, your art is beautiful. I love what you're doing. I think your sketch is really, really nice. I love the warmth of the skin tones that you've created. And now you're going in with your abstract background. So that's exciting. This is what, makes the mark of a level 2 artist, which we've had our
I feel like not all the time, not very often. And now it's something that I want to, now that I've given voice to it, I'm like,
I
well,
love
now,
having a voice to it.
Now that I've ethosed it, I
Yeah.
will, of course, focus on that more moving forward.
I think putting a voice to it like that is actually so helpful, because I feel like that allows you to very much more quickly analyze a reference too, and determine, if this is this reference, at what point am I at level 1 with it? What would I have to do to take it to level 2? If it's level 3, that means I really need to really look at what's in here and consider what that would be to draw it. So that's super cool. I like that a lot.
Do you feel like so I feel like when I'm scrolling on Pinterest, and it might just be my recommendations, but oftentimes when I'm looking for portrait reference, I get a lot of portraits that have nothing going on in the background whatsoever. And I think that's really good practice for me to work on faces. But more and more lately, I don't need a reference to draw a face, but I more so need a reference to kind of help when I'm working on a face. So the direction of the face, I'm like, oh, what exactly would this eye be doing from this perspective? I find that kind of thing to be helpful, but I don't need to be looking at it 24/7.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer not to, because I feel like it gives me more time to focus on what I'm doing and take some more creative liberties with what I'm creating.
Yeah, no, I've filled pages and pages with very wonky faces of trying to answer that very question myself from imagination of what would this eye be doing? Oh, not that.
Yeah. That's why there's this type of practice that is kind of, in my opinion, objectively the best type of way to practice, creating art, which is, I think it's a 3-step plan of copy. Well, I guess maybe just a 2-step plan. Essentially, you just copy, or here's what it is: copy, break it down, and then recall. So you would draw a face, right? Or let's say draw a nose. You would break down the nose into maybe simple shapes. You'd think about the planes of the nose, and then step 3 would be to recall it or try to do it without looking. Or try to do it without reference, or try to do it from different angles.
Ooh.
And that
would be hard.
Yeah, that's you've what's the saying in nursing? See one, teach one.
See one, do one, teach one. That's in all of healthcare.
Okay.
It's actually, I've heard something more applied to doctors and surgeons, where they're how do you get checked off on a new procedure? Well, you see one, then you do one, and then you teach one. And it's quick.
Yeah, so I would say
emphasis on one.
The reason why that's a great way to explain how you can learn something really well of see one, do one, teach one, is because when you're teaching it, you really have to think about it yourself and understand it. So I think with this process of drawing, breaking it down and then recalling, you're pretty much doing the same thing, because you're almost teaching yourself in a way. You're saying, I understand this thing, and therefore I can, recall it from memory, and I could explain it to somebody else. So that is something that I would like to do a little more of, but that's a little more study-y rather than, having fun just drawing portraits. And I really enjoy making art fun for myself, and I don't, ever want to have art feel like a chore.
You know, Ben, I think this is really more of a level 3. This isn't that abstract what you're doing. I think you're really putting in a real environment here. I view it as real. So congratulations. I think you misspoke. I think you're a level 3 artist.
I've leveled up twice in one moment?
I think
oh my gosh.
I think you get to call this that. So congratulations, level 3 artist.
I've done it again. Wow.
The greatest.
I'd like to thank the Academy, and I'd like to thank my family for always being there for me.
I'm your family.
I'd like to thank my partner in crime, Jim, who is my guy that I do crime with.
He'll go down with you.
I'd like to thank. Oh man, I think that's it. I think that's everybody on the list. I can't think of anyone else I'd like to thank.
I put myself on that list in several places. Don't you worry. I took. I'm the Academy. I'm family, and I'm actually Jim wearing a mask.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So really, it's just me.
I had no idea. Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow, it's so nice being up here at the level 3, looking down on these peasants.
You think I have an attempted level 5 in the past? I have. It went badly.
I have. It did not go well, and I am back.
And here I am back again. I tried to climb up there. The stairs were too tall.
Well, I'm glad you think so highly of my artwork, because I'm going to show off a very quick one here at the end. Very quick one. Because I lost pretty much all the footage from it, unfortunately. And that is because my iPad updated, and when it did that, it made the screen recording feature record video files that are like 2 or sometimes 3 times as large. And because of that, my iPad completely filled up the entirety of its space to where I couldn't even do anything on my iPad, and I had to rip all the stuff off of it. So
that's crazy.
Here's the same thing, really, this is what I would consider level 2. This is not a full environment for the background of the character, really going to be basic,
I'll be the judge of that.
You can be the judge of that. But it is something that I really enjoyed working on. I did kind of start the same way as the last one, and just fun to work on.
I love your lighting. Everything about like how bright her face is here is really lovely.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of shooting around in the dark, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out, and I didn't put as much time into certain areas, like say the lips, as I would have liked to.
Mm-hmm. No, they look good though. I like how you kept them simple, and I like how you kept a lot
intentionally.
of
Yes, of course. Intentional, very intentional. And
I like these individual steps on your journey of 1,000 miles that we're seeing. I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. You're very welcome for showing you my failures along with my successes. You asked about that recently, so.
Oh, well, I think this is really nice. You did a good job.
And if you want to have more successes and see more failures, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw, every day at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say,
bye,
Goomba.
Ben, if you were looking hopefully out the window like that with that expression on your face of childlike wonder, what would you be looking at?
I'd be looking at the giraffe that broke free from the Cincinnati Zoo and is running down the street.
That's cool.